Hello everyone, welcome to this lab. In this quick lab, we're going to look at how to store media files securely in Azure environment. This is covered in multiple different Azure certifications, 300, 104 administration, even for 500. You should know how to do this. So kind of requirement, if you quickly look at, you need to store the files. So what you need in Azure is a storage account. Let's say we're going to create a storage account called Basu Store, and we want to store media files. And the requirement is we are only going to allow authorized access to files. So by default, we are not going to let anybody just to access our files. And we're also going to ensure that any transfer of the file, they're going to be over the HTTPS protocol. Okay, so let's go to Azure. So this is my environment. So let's look at storage and see if I have any storage account associated with my account at all. And looks like there's nothing. That's great. So what we'll do, the first thing we're going to do, we're going to create a storage account, and I'm going to call it Basu Store. So that's gonna be okay. First, a resource group is also needed. So let's say AZ500 labs. Okay, so that's the new resource group under which I'm going to create the storage name, Basu Store. Hopefully nobody got it. Yeah, nobody got it, so I have still got it. And then location east-west is fine. I'm not going to go over any of that stuff, but for the most part, you want to use storage v2, and I don't need read access redundant storage. I'm just okay with say local redundant storage. Yeah, that's fine with me. And access to hot is good, so that's all I need at this moment. So let's create our storage account or store. It just takes a minute for the deployment to get done, and as soon as this is done, yeah, the validation has passed, so now it's deploying the resource. As soon as this is done, what we want to really do, we want to create a file share, and we'll just have that available where you can upload the media files. So let's see, so deployment in progress. So there are two ways you look for, or many other ways probably. The way you usually look for the deployments is, one of them is here, right here. It's going to give you the update as it's going on. It says your deployment is underway, and you see this little tiny dots. They're kind of moving in this particular page, and now it's done. And this is another area where you have this go to resource. Now, one weird thing I notice time to time, like when the deployment is done here, this go to resource button is still not activated for me for whatever weird reason. But that button is activated under the notification. From here I can go to the resource, but not from here. So let's just click over here. So that brings us to the storage account. How do you know as you are in the storage account? You can always look at the what's written at the bottom of this particular instance, the storage account. Your icon is also going to give you an idea what kind of account that is. So you have that. So as we said, we're going to create a files here, in this case to store our media files, and let's call that media store. Okay, now when you create that one, media, it's probably all has to have a small, yeah. So for all of this, you just try to use lowercase letters only. And quota, depending on your requirements, so let's give 2, and this is in gigabytes, so 2 gigs is good enough for me for now. So I'm just gonna say okay, and it's successfully added to the store. So now I have something where I can upload my files if I like. I click on upload and go there and select whatever file and put it in here. Now one other thing that was there, That's for HTTPS. So we're gonna go to configuration, and here you see the secure transfer paper. It's already enabled by default. So if you see that this is disabled, you should make that enabled, and so that all the transfer they will require a HTTPS protocol. Okay, or it will go through it will use the encryption HTTPS. You must connect using HTTPS. Okay, so that was a requirement that we had. Now if you want to give access to these files to only authorized user, the other thing you can do, let's look at configuration. We are in the configuration. I'm trying to figure out, there's a lot of times there are so many things, it's a little hard to go and get to the here, firewall and virtual network. So here you want to come. So here we have, now we're allowing access to this file from all networks. We want to restrict the access. Okay, that was kind of another requirement, that we want to enable HTTPS transfer, and we want to restrict the access. Now from here, what you can do, you can add a particular network, a particular IP, and that is going to be based on your own requirement, how you want to do that. Okay, so that's about it for this particular lab. Here we have created a file share to store the media files, and we made sure that the HTTPS protocol is enabled. If you want to, we can come here and do some more stuff to configure the network so that only a certain group of IPs can access that file. The other way you can do that, you can do come to that, like you upload a file, and from that file you create the SAS signatures, and you only give the SAS signature files to certain users, and configure the expiration date and everything of those signatures throughout this interface. Okay, that's about it for the lab. Good luck with the exam. Just be comfortable creating storage accounts and playing with the security features, and that's about it. Thank you. And here, by the way, if you wanted to create a storage shared access signature, you can go there to create the signatures that you can use. All right.